I also recognize specialist Dr. Toyin Adegbola, most welcome. I also recognize Engineer Lawal S. Olalekan. You are most welcome. Only card. Eshe Eyine Kabo. Dr. Toyin Adegbola. Aha, Bada Balogun Ibadan, Chief Remy. The procession is in a single division. Remain standing as we take the national Oyo State and Ibadan anthem. Please remain standing. Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice. A proud recipient of the member of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Mrs. No Princess Iganti Eneye, bó ni Chief ló ti wà ń bẹ̀. Bàdà Ìyálóde, Olóyè Alága Ajá Ìyálóde àti Olóyè Oníbíyọ̀ Scott Jagona Ìyálóde, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Research, Innovation and Strategic Partnerships, the Registrar, the Bursar, the University Librarian, and the Public Relations Officer of the University. The distinguished lecturer of today, Professor Toyin Falola, Jacob and Frances Sanga Musical Chair in Humanities at the University of Texas at Austin. The chairman of this occasion, all members of the Olubadan Council, High Chiefs of Ibadan land, and other revered Royal Majesties that are present, the gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with an immense depth of honor and profound sense of history that I stand before you today to deliver this goodwill message. This is not just a ceremonial function, as has been stated. It is a conference of history, of academia and royalty. A moment where town and gown unite in celebration of an epochal transition is not only apt but deeply insightful. It compels us to engage.
Awarded me my degree of D.Litt from the University of Ibadan. It's not an honorary doctorate. It's the first academic PhD in the humanities that the university gave me. It was through evaluation and examination. I started with Iba, which you must do so that you don't get into trouble. I will not read the entire thing. Iba onílé yìí, mojúbà bí ọmọdé tó fi rókù ọdẹ pẹran. Mojúbà bí ọmọ ìṣòwò tó rọ sọ́jà tó máa jẹ́ wálé. Ìbà onílé yìí, mo kanlẹ̀kùn kílẹ̀kùn má gbá mi lójú. Ẹni ráyé fín ní ìjẹpa wọn. Mo júbà ilé, mo sì júbà ìta. Gbangba ọ̀dẹ̀ kò ṣeé rí fín. Ẹni bá rí wọn fín, a máa ràn mọ́ kiri. Ìta mo júbà lónìí o. Ẹ̀kúnlé mo júbà o. Mo ṣe ìbà bí mo ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwé nìyẹn. Mo júbà gbogbo yín o. Mo júbà yín. Ẹ̀kúnlé o. Fún kábíyèsí mo fẹ́ kọrin kékeré fún wọn kẹ́ bá mi gbé o. Àti móyè yìí jẹ ó di kóró. Àti móyè yìí jẹ àti móyè yìí jẹ ó di kúrò. Àti móyè yìí jẹ ó di kóró. Ẹ kọrin fún kábíyèsí. Àti móyè yìí jẹ ó di kóró. Àti móyè yìí jẹ ó di kúrò. Èyí náà tó ń tiwa. Èyí náà tó ń tiwa. Àwa la ní Ìbàdàn títí tó fi gbogbo mọ̀ṣọ́. Èyí náà tó ń tiwa. Kábíyèsí ní àwọn fẹ́ Ìbàdàn state. Ní ìwé yẹn mo wá bá wọn create map Ìbàdàn state tí kábíyèsí Ládọjà láwọn fẹ́. Bí state yẹn á ṣe rírè. Òun la fi ṣe máàpù ìwé o. I want to shock you. I want to start the lecture with a shock. Nigeria obtained its independence in 1960, and we have been struggling for development. And I want to use Ibadan to illustrate how in the past our societies move rapidly towards development. In 1829, when they moved here in large numbers, becoming 40 years later, one of the biggest polity in West Africa. When they came with, and this is from historical studies that many of you may not know, they came in a hurry. And the first thing they needed to do was to create an agricultural foundation. They had to eat. You have to eat. And as I argued, within 3 months, they were able to feed themselves. How are they able to do that within 3 months to feed themselves? And Nigeria since 1960 has not been able to feed itself. So even in those agricultural matters, and Apari issue and others, you planted them very rapidly and you began to reap the reward such that there was no food scarcity. Not as much resources as we have today. They were able to do this. And many of you have been to Uje Market and Ojaba Market. Remember that they were connected to other markets stretching to faraway Kano. And there are delegates from Kano. I saw 2 of them in this room who came to greet me. And to delegates from Kano, they may not know that if you are looking for African herbal medicine, the most powerful in Kano are from Ibadan and Yoruba people. Then they have the Tuareg. I saw the Kano delegation. I will give them the contacts for 3 Ibadan who engage in traditional medicine in that city. They're very famous. And in connecting, they connected Ojaba with the Republic of Benin, that Ojaba that you see but you don't pay attention to, was connected to Lagos, was connected to Badagry, was connected to Porto Novo. And you may not know that the stretch passed beyond the Republic of Benin, and they have been going to Abidjan. Makola Market in Accra, Ibadan, where people are one of those who founded that market. It is the main market in Accra, Ghana today. And they stretch further to Gambia. The Yoruba king of Gambia is an Ibadan man. I've met him, I've visited him. And the stretch, when former President Obasanjo went to Ivory Coast, he was shocked when he saw the number of Ibadan people there. You can go to Abidjan and they will speak Yoruba to you. And if you've never been to Abidjan before, when you see the Yoruba people, they have the Ibadan Progressive Association in Ivory Coast. I've had the privilege of addressing them. That stretch is not new. It happened during the 19th century. You must have heard about Nadeko Road when there was democracy fight with Abiola and people were running away. And you must have heard of Ologun here in Ibadan. There are alternative roads to Republic of Benin connecting Ibadan. Myself, I've taken the road from Ibadan to Ogbomoso, landing in the Republic of Benin. And there is a northern road from Ghana that reached Ibadan, which does not pass through the main road of Badagry. You may not be aware of that. But if you are a trader, you must have known that that route existed. But these routes were there in the 19th century. They were there to the Atlantic economy, in which the products produced here reached the Americas and Europe. And you may not know the history of cocoa, that cocoa plantation started in part of Ibadan. And this place, which what we now call Agege, became the leading cocoa production center. So we celebrate the political achievements, which is good, but we have to celebrate the cultural, the economic, and the religious. And if you read those history, indeed, you'll be so proud of this city. You'll be so proud of this city. Second, this university became the center of nationalist historiography, studying the African states. You cannot study the African states without studying Ibadan. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Because there are a few examples where a city-state became an empire. Ibadan was not just a city in the 19th century. It transformed itself into an empire. So, Mama, where that was mentioned a moment ago, was the first to study this empire. It was bigger than Oyo Alaafin Atiba. It was much bigger. It was much bigger than the cluster of Ekiti State and much bigger than the clusters of Ijesha states. It was an empire. It's not a town. It wasn't a town, it was an empire with the power stretching to areas you now call Ondo State. That power extended there, stretching much further into parts of what we call Edo State. And its sheer boundaries with some other greater states. So, don't call Ibadan in the 19th century a town. It's not. It was an empire. But in that empire, you find what we call a complex society, in which we are going to find people from various parts of what we call Nigeria, West Africa, living there. And we've compiled the ethnography of those who are living there. A third achievement that we don't talk about was the capacity to create political integration. Political integration. I will only just list two examples. Sweat. That you could see sweat on him. When he's eating hot amala with abula, and when he's in the other room with his choice wife. Adédùbú lọ sọ́jà, ó má di ẹbọ wálé, kó gbé, kó jí, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó rà. Ìdá méjì Ìbàdàn tá à ń pẹ̀lẹ́ nìkan ṣoṣo. Nítorí pé kábíyèsí ò sí ń bí, ẹ jẹ́ kí n bá fàbù fún wọn náà, ẹ jẹ́ n bá fàbù tiwọn. Tán bá wà ń bí, ẹnu mi ò ní gbọ́rọ̀ o. Bọ̀ wọ́n á ti sọ̀rọ̀, wọ́n ti láwọn wà ń pè bí. Ẹ máa gbọ́ o. Ẹ jẹ́ n bá fàbù kábíyèsí fún yín. Mo ní fàbù bíi mẹ́rin fún wọn, báyọ̀ kan máa fún yín. Tẹ́ bá gbọ́ mẹ́ta yòókù, ẹ pè mí sí kọ̀rọ̀. Àṣìpa. Ẹ pè mí sí kọ̀rọ̀, ẹ jẹ́ wá gbá fàbù Ládọjà fún yín.
Congratulations. Monilai Wobe. That was great. That was great. More grace.
Ní 2009 ni mo mọ Professor Toyin Falola. Téèyàn bá kàwé tí ò fẹ́ sọ mọ́ ló di Professor. Professor Ọmọbẹ́wàjí Da Silva. Àwọn ni wọ́n pè wọ́n pé kí wọ́n wá fún wọn lóúnjẹ alẹ́ dínà nílé wọn ní Sokoto Street ní UNB. I recognize specially and present to this wonderful congregation the President General, Central
Toyin Falola, the historian of note for protecting the image of Ibadan worldwide through enviable academic exploits. Honored as the most patriotic Ibadan indigene, MPII, Professor, you are free you are qualified to put MPII after your name. On behalf of the Central Council of Ibadan Indigene, I present this to you.
Nígbà tí wọ́n fẹ́ fi mí jẹ bọ́bà àpótán fi Ìbàdàn land, àwọn kábíyèsí tí wọ́n fi mí jẹ éèjì wọ́n gbà yẹn was 19.
Committee of the main coronation committee under the inspirational leadership of the Toyin, acknowledge and appreciate those of us who have found time to be here with us at this very important public lecture, which is part of the coronation activities for Oba Rashidi Ladoja, for providing access to this very impressive hall for this occasion. Undoubtedly, to identify with us, we thank the Mogajis of Ibadan.